Since 2007, the Syscom and Pro-Eco Africa projects have developed a scientific basis for comparing conventional and organic farming in tropical countries. In this video, we consider how the project results can inform the debates on the future of organic agricultural development in Africa. We speak with experts involved in the projects from FIBEL in Switzerland to discuss key project results and how they can inform policy.
Let me introduce you to the problem that we are trying to address. There is substantial evidence illustrating that the dominant agricultural systems feeding the growing global population have major shortcomings for the future. As in other vulnerable regions across the globe, many parts of the African continent face the adverse effects of climate change, biodiversity loss, and food and nutrition insecurity. These and other socioeconomic and environmental considerations make a transition to agroecological organic food systems imperative. Organic agriculture and other agroecological approaches are gaining importance in Africa as the evidence grows, showing that this way of farming enhances environmental health, the nutrition security and well-being of both smallholder farmers and urban consumers by contributing to healthier, safer, and more diversified diets. Active ecological organic farming works with nature and helps sustain living ecological systems and cycles. This includes soil, plants, animals, households, society, and the general environment. Such an approach to farming requires a focus on the productivity of the whole farm system over the long term using organic best practices, instead of focusing on short-term gains from a narrow range of crops or animals and products. Ecological organic agriculture comprises agroecology, certified and non-certified organic farming. The boundaries between them are, however, quite fluid, and differences are often based more on conceptualizations as opposed to technological or practical basis.
Key results from projects. From the experience of participatory on-farm research, on-station and field research over the past 8 years, we have found that ecological organic agriculture can provide many benefits to people and nature. Some of the most interesting results are that profitability and productivity of organic farming in the tropics can equal or exceed that of conventional farms. This is dependent on the type of crop management practice and farm size and location. Additionally, well-managed organic farming system can increase soil fertility, improve water quality, reduce pesticide residues, increase farm resilience, and enhance biodiversity above and below ground. To realize these benefits, organic farmers must go beyond just eliminating synthetic agrochemical inputs and engage in active organic management practices on their farms, in line with agroecological principles. The project concluded this is the key to success in organic farming in the tropics. This approach is knowledge-intensive. Farmers and advisors have to continuously learn, experiment, adapt, and share knowledge and skills with one another. Policy recommendations introduction. Key agreements supporting the advancement of ecological organic agriculture in Africa. In 2011, a high-level decision by the African Union heads of states and governments resolved to mainstream organic agriculture into national plans, programs and policies by 2025. This high-level decision led to the subsequent implementation of a multi-year continental initiative on African ecological organic agriculture, outlining the politically recognized importance of organic and sustainable agriculture beyond certified organic. Policy recommendations. In order to capitalize on the benefits organic agriculture can offer the environment and society, Government systems need to work on 4 main axes. First, enact policies and strategies for organic agriculture and food safety. Second, make markets work for farmers and consumers. Third, address the distinct needs of organic agriculture. Fourth, better networking and cooperation at local, national and regional levels.
Recommendation number 1, enact or strengthen policies and strategies for organic agriculture and food safety. Most sub-Saharan African nations lack basic national or subnational organic strategies or policies which would enable organic agriculture uptake. Policies, for example, financial incentives like tax breaks and subsidies to organic farmers, especially farmers converting to organic agriculture, or policies that strengthen the access of women and other disadvantaged groups to resources and markets. Food safety and environmental policies can also support, for example, strengthening and enforcing set limits for synthetic pesticide residues on food and in water, protecting rivers and groundwater from harmful fertilizer and pesticide in runoff. Recommendation number 2, make organic markets work for farmers and consumers. To ensure markets serve farmers and consumers and that the economic benefits of ecological organic farming are realized, externalities must be internalized. Concretely, governments could consider eliminating or reducing subsidies for synthetic agrochemicals and increase investments in research and development of organic and other agroecological practices and inputs. At the minimum, ensure a symmetry of subsidies to give a fair choice to the producers. Establish public procurement programs such as for school feeding programs, in hospitals, and others. These should offer incentives for family farmers and those who practice more environmentally friendly farming. Support and constitute measures and policies that improve necessary infrastructure to ensure that farmers' products can reach markets. For example, strengthen road networks, transportation and also storage infrastructure, access to electricity or renewable energy, schooling, education facilities and natural resources such as water and irrigation infrastructure. Invest in education on organic agriculture and other agroecological practices, on information and communication technology, and also widen dissemination around the benefits of organic for human and environmental health.
Recommendation number 3. Address the distinct needs of organic agriculture. The holistic ecological approach taken in organic agriculture presents different needs compared to conventional. The approach is more knowledge and labor intensive. To address their specific needs, governments can advance economic and institutional support for organic agricultural research, especially in the following areas: nutrient management, carbon storage and tillage practices, crop livestock integration, high quality plant and seed materials, and system approaches to pest and disease management. Strengthen public and private extension systems through allocating more funding to programs focused on agroecology and organic agriculture. utilize innovative digital technologies and test novel financing mechanisms. Improve the attractiveness of rural spaces regarding economics and infrastructure. If more knowledge and labor-intensive approaches are to prosper, rural spaces as a whole need to become more attractive, especially for the youth. This means strengthening rural infrastructure such as mobile internet and incentivizing companies to invest in rural areas. Adapt technical innovation and medium-scale mechanization to local conditions, thus reducing the need for manual labor. Such innovations can help sustain and increase farmers' activities and lower their production costs. Recommendation number 4. Improve networking and cooperation at local, national, and regional level. The diverse actors across sectors must improve cooperation and align various projects and programs in order to increase the sustainability and resilience of the sector. Concretely, actors can promote and facilitate social learning among farmers, improve networking information, knowledge and project insights. For example, organize tours and exchanges to model ecological organic farms and research stations. Consult broadly and ensure public participation in policy formulations and decision-making processes. Use evidence to build support for reform and resist pressure from vested interests that may not be sustainable in the long term. Exploit synergies across geographic levels, local, national, sub-regional, or regional.
Africa holds a primordial position in creating more resilient and sustainable food production systems. For African food systems to meet their potential and contribute to sustainable development, institutions, policies, programs, markets, and society must support a conducive environment for change. It is imperative to harmonize policies and minimize conflicting programs that may hinder the successful uptake of organic agriculture and other agroecological technologies and practices.